So I said in the last video I was going to talk a little bit about what to put in that first email. So based on the lead source, it's really important the conversation you have in the first emails. So if it's a third-party lead source like KBB or Edmunds or Auto Trader, you want to stay away from when do you come in for a test drive or something like that, because it's a little too aggressive at that stage. They're right at the top of the purchase funnel. They haven't even picked what they're going to buy yet, right? So trying to nail them into a test drive when they don't even know what they're going to buy yet or see the value in buying is really, really too aggressive. So the conversation needs to be, hey, is there a time? Please reply and let me know of the best time I can speak to you by phone so I can figure out how to best suit to fit this vehicle purchase into your needs. So, and you're going to ask them questions like, what's your purchase time frame? What motivated you to start this process? Are you trading something in? The typical stuff we ask, but we want to make sure that we're not being too aggressive at that point, because they've just started looking. They just started exploring the possibility of even buying a vehicle is even something they should do. So you really want to kind of gingerly handle that one. Thank you so much. I know you're looking at this F-150. Great choice, by the way. What other trucks are you looking at? Just so I know what I'm up against. Things like that you can incorporate into the conversation. And then closing it with, please reply with the best time to speak to you by phone. I'd love to discuss more of how I can help you one-to-one over the phone. Or if you prefer text messaging, ask them what the device is that they would like to use. Phone call or texting or email, whatever works best for them. And then you really, as you move down the purchase funnel, then you get to the tier 1 sites, the Ford vehicles, or, the major websites. As you get through those, they want that particular brand. So they probably are a vehicle owner. They probably are, a Chrysler owner. If they went through the Chrysler America website to submit a lead to you, they're probably a Chrysler owner. Hey, what do you own right now? Oh, you have a Pacifica. That's fantastic. We're looking for that in our used car. Manager is looking for a Pacifica specifically. I know I have a customer myself for it. That's great. Have you gotten a trade-in evaluation? When did you do that? When was the last time you had an in-person evaluation of your vehicle? When would you like to set that up? So what are you looking to accomplish with this vehicle? Are you looking to replace it? Are you looking to add another vehicle to the vehicles you have? How can I help? Because then you're really getting down to specifically what motivates them, what their buying motivators are, right? So you're trying to understand, you're looking at the Pacifica and the 300. Okay, great. So I'm going to have both those vehicles pulled up for you when you come in, and then we can just start discussing, which one fits your needs better, which one we want to test drive, and so on and so forth. And again, ask them, hey, when is the better time that I can speak to you by phone about this vehicle? Would you prefer that we speak by text messaging? How would you like to communicate? And then as you get through to chat and text messages, then you can be a little bit more aggressive, right? Because they're looking for that one-to-one communication. They're looking for that difference maker. They're looking for a salesperson, as my old boss would say. So show them a salesperson. So it sounds like you've done a lot of research, Mr. Customer. You're just asking, it's just a matter of pricing at this point. I tell you what, I do have some time today and a little bit tomorrow, because I really don't want you to have to wait for me. I'm happy to wait for you to come in. I don't want you to have to wait for me. So let's do this. Let's set you up. How does Friday sound? Friday, I have a 1:30 and a 3:30. You know what I mean? So you can be a little bit more aggressive, a little more assertive, actually, is probably a better word, with scheduling the appointment with someone who comes through via text or chat. So by tailoring your responses based on where they submitted their lead, you're really kind of coaxing them through the process to where it works out for both of you, right? You know where they stand based on where they submitted their lead in their purchase process, and they don't feel like they're being pressure, which that's the number one thing people hate about car dealerships is just, felt so pressured to buy a car, I just end up leaving because I couldn't handle the pressure. That's like the number one complaint that people have about car dealerships is just too much pressure. So let's back that off and apply pressure where it's absolutely successful in applying. And of course, I'm speaking in very general terms. Of course, there's always little, differences, quirks here and there that make a difference in how you communicate with one lead or another. But by and large, in generalities, that's the formula that I would use actually when I'm speaking to my different lead sources. And there's other ones out there. If you have someone who comes across with a digital retailing tool on your website, that's someone who's fully committed to buying. They fully walked through the process, even if they abandoned the cart midway and didn't finish for whatever reason. They didn't know how to go through the trade appraisal, or they didn't want to fill out the credit app, or whatever it was. That's still someone who's very, very much committed to buying a vehicle. So the first phone call needs to be, all right, so I need my used car manager to look at your car. I have appointments today for 2 o'clock and I have one tomorrow for 4 o'clock. Which one would work better for you? So that one you can absolutely be a more assertive with, because that person is absolutely committed. They're buying a vehicle by going through the digital retailing tool. And we really need to address what the items were that they spoke about in the digital retailing tool. I see that a lot, where people are not speaking to what was loaded into the digital retailing tool. And I think that's to your detriment that you do that, because there's a lot of customers that will take the time to fill out all of those all the line items in a digital retailing tool, and then for them to go through that whole process and then us not to address it, I just think is it can be frustrating for a customer from their aspect. So very much read through what they applied, what they added in, what they omitted in the digital retailing tool. So if you know for a fact they skipped over the trade, okay, why did we skip over the trade? Are we not trading anything in? Fantastic. We skipped over the credit application. We're paying cash? Fantastic. So whatever it is, you can overcome it. It's just better if you address it right off the bat, as opposed to trying to start them all over from scratch like they never submitted a single piece of information to you. That's going to work against you more than for you. So take the information that you have, use it to your advantage, and it'll help you build the rapport faster with your customers. So I hope that helps you. I'll see you guys next time. Happy selling.